I had a really serious pregnancy scare when I was in college, and I can almost remember now, if I think hard enough, what it felt like. Just fear, just really intense fear, that pit in your stomach. That made it really important to me to figure out what kind of birth control was going to make sense. I first became sexually active in college, so I was pretty much a late bloomer sexually, at least among my friends. The first method of birth control that I tried was condoms. It can kind of ruin the mood, obviously, and then there's always that looming idea that they could rip, and it's just a little bit awkward to ask someone to use a condom. It started to dawn on me that, hey, I need to do something about this on my own. I tried birth control pills primarily because I wanted to reinstate control over my sex life. I had a lot of problems remembering to take the pill. I tried a few things to, remind myself. One was just rely on my memory entirely. I've got this thing I have to take every morning. Didn't work. The next thing I tried doing was setting an alarm, which did not work because I wasn't always around when the alarm was going off. And then the thing that finally worked was I put the birth control pills near my toothbrush. Because clearly I'm going to brush my teeth every day. After several years on birth control pills, I decided to switch to a diaphragm. I just started to feel like some of the side effects, like the mood swings and just this concept of having hormones or pumping hormones into my body, was starting to bother me. The downsides of using a diaphragm are that, like condoms, they can ruin the mood. For me, putting in a diaphragm can be a little bit awkward. To be honest, they're a little bit messy. It sounds like there are more downsides, but really, up to this point, the diaphragm has actually been the easiest thing. What I try to do nearly every time, I won't say every time, but nearly every time I have sex, is to conjure up the feelings that I had during that pregnancy scare. I try to remember that feeling and try to use that as a way to remind me that I need to use my birth control every time I have sex. It's been important to me to really make sure that I use something. I mean, that to me is the bottom line.